I thank you for taking the time to help me out. Now I'm sure you're busy, so I'll come straight to the point. Word has it some suspicious looking buggers have been sneaking in and out of the Sashtasha Sharegoat, and I need a trustworthy sort to head up north to Aleport and find out who they are and what they're up to. Don't sound like much, I know, but it weren't so long ago the Fishback's pet pirates paid us an unwelcome visit, and folk are feeling a bit nervous. If you would permit me, Master... Oh, that's a new guy. If you would permit me, Master Baderon, I should be happy to elaborate. Well, if it ain't the Chief Yellow Jacket himself. To what do I owe this rare honor, Commodore Reiner? Come to make sure me patrons are behaving, or just thirsty? Neither, in fact. I was informed that you had requested an adventurer to assist in my investigation, and I came to offer what information I could sift from my reports. Over the course of the past moon, there have been several sightings of an unfamiliar vessel off the coast of Aleport, in the vicinity of the Isles of Umbra. This information came to my attention no more than a few weeks after a squad of my own soldiers had completed a routine patrol of the region, the Sastasha Sharagot included. Seagrot. Sastasha Seagrot. Their search revealed little, save that a family of Kurls had taken up residence in the caves. Nothing to concern us, in short. In light of recent developments, however, it would seem wise to search Sashtasha again. But when the Sahagin testing our defenses daily, I am loath to assign the task to the limited forces at my disposal. Our line is stretched as it is. Thus, I sought the services of a competent adventurer to conduct an investigation in our stead. Any aid you could offer in this matter would be greatly appreciated. Floopsy. Then it is settled. Sastasha is located in western Loneska. For more detailed instructions on how to reach the place, I suggest you consult Vimilpa. She can be found at the ferry docks on the lower decks. You heard the man. Good luck to ye, lad. You're calling me lad, too? That's Elder Floopsy to you. You must be Vimilpa. You're here about Commodore Reiner's investigation? Then you want to board a ferry boat bound for Aleport. Once you arrive in western Loneska, though, you'd best pay a visit to the Hall of the Novice before you blunder into Sastasha. The Adventurers Guild runs the hall, and the folk there will prepare you, train you with the skills you need to face the dangers undoubtedly waiting for you in the sea grot. The hall is on the way to Sastasha, just north of Aleport. Head inside, and one of their seasoned adventurers will take you in hand. Best of luck to you, friend. Yes. Gonna go there, and they're gonna teach us how to tank. You must be the adventurer of whom the Yellow Jackets sent word. I hear you are to brave the depths of the that place. The occupant of those caves are rumored to be as numerous as they are bloodthirsty. No matter what epic tales you would have you believe, strolling into such a den of savagery alone would be the height of foolishness. No, you shall need companions. And you shall need the training we here at the Hall of the Novice can provide. I strongly suggest that you study the fundamentals of group combat before continuing on your mission. The Smith here oversees the training schedules. Speak with him, and you can register for exercises tailored to your particular field of experience. Hello. When you have mastered all that our masters have to teach, then it will be time to head north once more. Report to the Yellow Jacket Scout at the mouth of that place, and he will furnish you with the details of your duty. So this is skippable, but doing the little tutorial here will get you a decent set of gear for your designated role, be it tank, DPS, or healer. Big shieldy boy is going to give us some good gear for our level. So we'll go ahead and go through this, and we'll be back. Well, we've got our new snazzy armor. Let's get ourselves over to that place to do a dungeon. Floopsy? What took you so bloody long, Edda? If my purse was too light, ye might have considered using some of your own bleeding coin to get us what we need. You've only ever been as useful as the contents of your pockets. The gods know ye can barely eel a scratch. We took up venture in life to take on big jobs and claim the big rewards. How are we meant to do that if you can't even get our supplies in order? It's him, the one Bedron was talking to. Well, we'll see who gets the glory. This job should have been ours in the first place. Huh. Floopsy? Gasp. I'm sorry, Avir. I came as fast as I could. I tried haggling with the merchants, but 2 potions was the best I could get with the money you gave me. I had no idea how expensive they were. This is perfect for our inaugural outing as a party. Wandering around in the caves, turning over a few rocks, how difficult could it possibly be? I never expected our first visit to the Adventurers Guild would yield such a straightforward way to win fame and fortune. Bwah ha 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 ha! Eddie, you're so slow. You'd lose a foot race to a tree slug. Goodness. This poor healer girl. Abused. Yellow Jacket! Please tell me you're here on Yellow Jacket duty, and not some daft sod out for a stroll. I can't take any more of this blasted waiting. You are? Thank the gods. I assume you already know about the ship seen slipping around the Isles of Umbra. We've been on the lookout for pirate activity ever since the vessel was sighted, thinking a crew of cutthroats might have a den nearby. So when we received word that men of questionable quality had been seen passing in and out of Sastasha here, we weren't entirely surprised. I've yet to see them for myself, but if this slot belongs to those fishback-fancying serpent reavers, well, you can imagine the panic it'll cause. The kidnappings are still fresh in people's minds. Anyway, your task is to poke around in the caves and find out exactly who we're dealing with. While you do that, I'll be keeping watch out here, praying you don't spot any blue face tattoos. Duty Finder. We can find duty. Clicky, 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 click. I understand what I must do. Okay. So this is our first dungeon here in the good old Final Fantasy XIV. And a lot of the dungeons that are needed to complete the main story quest have this neat option to enter with a party of NPCs. So you get computer players to fill a party, so you go in instantly, and they're pretty responsive and they're well programmed, so you don't have to babysit them, and it's a good overall experience, pretty much. They don't have this implemented on all the story quest NPC dungeons in the game yet, but a good solid amount of them. However, for Floopsy here, we're going to try and see if we can get in with some other players, just for the giggles. We'll see if this queue takes a good amount of time, then we'll just go ahead and get in with an NPC party. But we're going to give the queue a shot here. And we'll be back once we get a party. Awesome. And we got in with a party of other players. Fishman! Dang, we're blitzing through this guy. We don't even worry about the mechanics. Floopsy! To give a commendation to this Healy boy. Seems like it might have been his first time healing. Alright, so we've got out of that dungeon. I think we're going to go ahead and pick up a couple crafting classes. So we're just going to go for blacksmithing, armor smithing, and mining. And these guys have their own little side story quest to them. And the way crafting works in Final Fantasy XIV, if you're not already aware, it's handled as its own separate kind of class. And you're able to switch classes by equipping a new main hand weapon of the subsequent class. And now that we've got our blacksmith class equipped, we're naked! So we don't have any gear to go with the blacksmith class just yet. So we're going to be a naked blacksmith for just a little bit. Now that there is a beautiful... Oh, that's perfect. Now that there is a beautiful sight. Never forget, a smithy's hammer is his one true love. Friends'll betray ye, lovers'll leave ye, but your hammer'll never do ye wrong. God, seeing you standing there reminds me of a less ale-sodden version of me younger self. But on to your task. We ain't a congregation of soft-handed scholarlies here. Smithies learn by doing. Try your hand at making a bronze ingot. Any smithy worth his salt got to master the fundamentals, and you can't get more fundamental than that. It ain't complicated. Bronze is just copper and tin melted down and mixed together. So you'll be needing... Aye, that's it. Copper and tin ore. And seeing as most folks don't carry the stuff around with them without reason, him outside can provide you with some, for a price, that is. What the lad can't sell you, though, is the fire shard you'll need. Aye, it ain't complicated, but that don't mean it's easy. You need to melt the metals, after all, and to do that, you need to get 'em hotter than a flame kiss And that's all there is to it. Think you can handle it, lad? Floopsy can handle anything, even when he's naked. Naked make an ingot. Naked make a thing. Nah, you know what? I think... Heh, you're all right, lad. Better than that, even. Sure you ain't done this before? 'Cause honestly, this ain't what you'd expect from a venture fresh off the street. Floopsy's been around, man. I think you might be a bleeding natural, lad. It takes just the right balance of metals to produce bronze suitable for weapons and tools. But this ingot you've made me, lad, it's on par with them as our veterans produce. You could take this down to Hawker's Alley and find a buyer in no time. Buyer goat's watching over ye, ain't no doubt about it. Hey, you've got talent, lad, but don't let it go to your head. Seen plenty of folk get drunk on early success only to puke their guts up later because they forgot that talent's worth bugger all without hard work and dedication. That's true. So I tell you what, keep it simple for now, lad. Practice the fundamentals till you can smelt that stuff in your sleep. And when you've gained the kind of confidence as only comes with experience, come back and I'll teach you something new. Floopsy. Not completely naked anymore. Armor smithing. Ah, yes, if I didn't know better, I'd think you were an armorer, Elder. Of course I do know better. Until you craft something with that hammer of yours, you'll look like a babe with a rattle to me. And I've no intention of mothering you. Make no mistake, I mean to shape you into an artisan, however hard I have to pound. Oh my. Save your sweat for the forge, lad. I don't expect you to fashion full suits of plate on your first day. Just pay close attention to my instructions. Be diligent in your work, and the skill will come in due time. Now let's be about your first lesson, shall we? I want you to take up your hammer and make me a bronze ingot. We did that for the other guy. A mundane task, I grant you, but one which every armorer must master. Bronze, you see, is the most basic metal of the craft, and bronze ingots are its building blocks. 'Tis not the strongest of alloys, of course, but it is that very quality that makes bronze easy to shape, and the metal of choice for a novice armorer. To forge your ingot, you'll need to produce 2 chunks of copper ore, a chunk of tin ore, and an ice shard. The ore can be purchased from that guy here at the guild. The ice shard you'll have to find on your own. Well, are you waiting for me to swing your arm for you? Or mayhap you would have me swing my boot? Heck, not naked make a thing. Did it. Where's that bronze ingot I asked for? If you can't find the ore yourself, try sneaking with that guy here at the guild. We did it. Please don't boot us. We're very small. Completed your first task, have you? Well then, let's have a look at this ingot. And so this is the sort of quality I can expect from you, is it? For a novice armorer, this is excellent work. Excellent. Well done, Elder. The key to making good bronze is judging the ratio of copper to tin. With too much tin, the alloy becomes harder, but also more brittle. Not the sort of material you want to be protecting your vital organs. Lest you forget, quality is a matter of life and death in our craft. That is why we teach our initiates the ideal metallurgic composition of every item we forge. Not all that are quick to learn. There are some who seem destined to produce mediocre results, however painstakingly the processes are explained. Thank the builder you are not one of them. I'm pleased to say that your ingot would fetch a decent price in the markets. But do not let this first success make you complacent. A single bad helm will lose you more trust than 100 good ones will win. Because bad armor means dead men. It is not enough that your work be good, it must needs be consistently good. And achieving that consistency requires discipline and long hours of crafting the same item over and over, again and again. For you, this means a mountain of bronze ingots. Bronze ingots in your dreams. Bronze ingots until the process is so ingrained that you wake up and find that your pillow is an ingot. You made in your sleep. When you feel you have learned all you can from forging bronze ingots, seek me out and I will find you something else to craft. May the builder guide your hand, Elder. Why don't we grind these up until we can build something we can use? Brithale! We're not naked this time. I'm sorry you can't admire Floopsy's sculpted abs. Praise the builder, I was afraid he might have joined up with another crew. The thought of it pained me so much I was down at the wench till the morning bells I was. But here you are, still brimming with potential, and with some extra meat on your smitten arm, if me eyes don't deceive me. So, something new. Of course, how could I forget? Elder Floopsy, I bid ye craft 3 bronze cross-peen hammers, just like the ones all our apprentice smithies use. For this you'll need bronze maple lumber and hempen cloth. Now I know making the bronze will pose ye no trouble, but allow me to offer ye a bit of advice regarding the materials. If you want to save yourself some coin, you might consider mining your own copper and tin out in the wilds. And if that don't tickle your fancy, you might consider whacking the odd cobble until it stops moving. They lug ore around with him, see. And it ain't as if swinging a sword's all that different from pounding a lump of metal into shape, is it? At the end of the day, though, how you go about getting the bits and pieces don't matter to me. I just want to see if you can make a decent hammer. Do what needs doing and come back when it's done. If we give you these hammers, will you give us pants? Where are them hammers I asked for, lad? Hammer. 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 Heh, seems last time weren't no fluke. This here's some impressive work, lad. Now, a layman might look at this and think you just stuck a piece of bronze on a maple stick, but you've done a damn sight more than that, whether you know it or not. A hammer's a tool, after all, and the head's got to grip the shaft for tens of thousands of strikes. What's more, when a smithy's pounding a red-hot piece of metal, his hammer takes up some of the heat and swells a touch, which ain't a problem unless it's a poorly made piece of shite. Take it from me, lad, there's few things more embarrassing than flinging a glowing hammerhead over your shoulder straight into the eye of your newest apprentice, even if he did eventually get his sight back. But I reckon your hammers won't lead to any incidents like that. In short, I'm happy with what you've done. Now I'll spare us both the don't rest on your laurel speech if it's the same to you. Stating the bleeding obvious is best done with a drink in your hand, I find. But well done, any road. Here, you'll be needing this. A hammer will suffice for simple smitten, but complex jobs call for more delicate touch, which is what a file gives ye. Using one alongside your hammer will make your life a good deal easier, whatever you're crafting. Try smithing something simple. I guarantee you'll see the difference. And when you've done that, do it again. I want you to practice till you can wield that file as well as your hammer. Once we've got the hang of it, come back here for another task. Pants! Ah, Elder, I take it you're now intimate with every aspect of the bronze ingots production? Good, then you can assist us with an pressing matter. It seems that one of our younger members, Swithin, accepted an order which he would struggle to fill in thrice the time he promised. While I am tempted to let him squeal under the weight of his own ambition, the guild is not in the habit of delivering late. Several veteran armorers have volunteered their services, but I would also like you to assist in this matter. On the one hand, you'll be helping to spare the guild unnecessary embarrassment, and on the other, you will be deepening your understanding of the craft. The builder could not have planned it better. For your part in this endeavor, you are to craft 3 bronze hoplons. You'll need bronze plate and maple lumber to make shields. While we're on the subject, how have you been acquiring your materials? The markets are reliable. We know how to get the stuff. How fare you with your task? Do you have those 3 hoplons for me? I do. One of them I didn't even make. Impressive. You have managed to balance the conflicting requirements of sturdiness and portability, much as you balance hardness and malleability in your first task. The bronze plate is securely fitted and should weather the most vicious blows without becoming dislodged. And importantly, your work was swift and sure. Many an armor has lost a sale due to late delivery, and rightly so. A customer's need for armor is invariably pressing, and its absence likely to be sorely felt. Given the stakes, a reputation for reliability can mean handsome profits, especially at a time when the Maelstrom is seeking armors to outfit its ever-expanding ranks. It is all we can do to keep the peace with the Grand Company's orders for equipment, and that is why every member of our guild must support the next, much as the warriors of Eld supported their fellows in the flanks with their shields. Though you have but recently begun your training, a man of your natural talents belongs on the front line. I think the time has come for you to learn the use of another weapon in the armorer's arsenal. Specifically, pliers. Take this pair and try using them in combination with your hammer. It will feel strange at first, but persist and you will find that your work proceeds damn sight more smoothly. When you think you've mastered the pliers, I want you to see the results of your dedication. I want to see them. Until then, Elder. Shoes. Ah, Elder, just the lad I was hoping to see. I have a new initiate that has near exhausted my reserves of patience, and I think she would benefit from seeing the results of a peer's dedication and skill, specifically yours. Her name is Grenade, and builder help me, she is the most distracted, fumble-fingered craftswoman ever to lift a hammer. If she could but learn to forge the simplest of items without constant supervision, I would consider it a rare victory. Sigh. It is unfortunate that Bargoat did not see fit to invest all of my armors with your innate talents. But I suppose we must all start somewhere, and if I abandoned every initiate that was slow to grasp a technique, our guild would have a grand total of, 9 members? Mayhap 10? A jest. But 'twould be few enough for our clients in the Maelstrom to have to share their breastplates. So what say you, Elder? You need only craft a dozen sheets of bronze plate to supplement Grenade's own. When they are ready, I want you to deliver them to the lass in person. Mayhap your example will inspire her to take more care with her work. Okie dokie. Oh, you must be Elder. The guildmaster told me you'd be... Wait, where did I put my hammer? Ah, there it is. Sorry, what were you saying? Right, yes, I would be most grateful for the extra sheets of bronze plate. Gods, did you craft these yourself? Why, they're absolutely... Whoa, nearly dropped them. No harm done, though. As I was saying, I can certainly see why the Forge Master speaks so highly of your work. The bronze is the perfect color and thickness, so I assume you carefully measured out the amounts of tin and copper. I always had too much tin. Did you know metal can shatter? Well, I didn't. Truth be told, I've tended to put all my efforts into making the armor itself, rather than bothering with the base materials. I mean, compared to hammering out glorious winged helms or ornate greaves, measuring out metals just seems so trivial. But looking at your work, I'm beginning to wonder. I never realized how beautiful a simple sheet of bronze could be. With materials like this, just imagine the sturdy, shiny suits of armor one might create. It seems I've been putting the cart before the chocobo. From this moment onwards, I swear to focus all my attention and care on the task at hand, even if the task at hand is forging bronze ingots. And what of you, Elder? Do you have any grand projects waiting for you on the anvil? I overheard some of the senior armorers boasting about the coin they made through tradecraft leaves. Might that be something you'd consider? They say Tamorki over at the Drowning Wench is the one to talk to, and that's where I'll be heading once I improve my technique. Now, where did I put that hammer? It's on your belt, you silly girl. Hat. Look at Floopsy's little anvil compared to this guy's normal anvil. Baby's first forging anvil. You know what, lad? It might not be my place to say it, me being your guild master and all, but I like ye. I really like ye. Oh boy, was that because you saw us naked? Together there's naught we can't... What? Why are you making that face at me? Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. You're the most promising pupil I've had in God knows how long is all. I was just waxing sentimental for a moment. You can honestly tell me you don't get a bit emotional when you've been out of the night before and... bah, forget it. Been working hard, have ye? Aye, I can tell, but this is just the beginning, lad. You see, the art of blacksmithing is deeper than the deepest ocean, and if ye plan on getting to the bottom of it, you'll need to... Sink? No, that's no good. All right, how about this? If you mean to set sail for the faraway land of, smithing master, you mustn't try to make the journey in a dinghy. Ah, the hell's with it. Just make me a dozen bronze rivet, lad. Bronze rivets. Straight to the point. Here are them rivets coming along. Any time now, lad. Praise the builder, you've done it again. These rivets are perfect. But don't take that to mean they're special, because they ain't. You see, rivets have got to be perfect, and I'll tell you for why. If you're pounding something and your hammer breaks, you can just grab a new one. But it's a whole other story when your rivets fail. Ever seen an airship, lad? Marvelous things they are, but bloody complicated. Now imagine you're a dozen miles above Limsa and your fancy flying boat starts springing rivets. Might be as from its engine, might be from the hull. Don't make no difference. Whichever it is, you're royally buggered. If I was on that airship, lad, taking in the gorgeous view as the confounded contraption tumbled down to the earth below, I'd be cursing them rivets with all me heart. Aye, and the half-arse bastard that shot 'em out, too. And you wouldn't want that on your conscience, would ye? Which is why you must always make quality products what stand the test of time. To help you learn the importance of quality, I want you to try smithing for paying customers. Start by having a word with Timbergy down at the Wench. She should be able to point you in the direction of a few Laminsons in need of services with a talented lad like yourself. Hone your craft, earn some coin. Hells, have a drink while you're at it. Dude, I think your relationship with alcohol is a little unhealthy. The Wench is always serving. Gloves. Where have you been, Elder? There's work to be done. I need you to speak with another novice, a lass by the name of this. I was due a barbet and buckler from her a few bells ago, but I find myself standing here with nary a nose guard. Lest you wonder, her is nothing like Grenade. She's as dedicated to the craft as you are, and I've never known her to miss a delivery. Something must be amiss, and I need to find out what. I'd go ask her myself, but I fear my unusual approach would do more harm than good. Yeah, fair enough. The lass might be built like a stack of anvils, but she flinches at the merest hint of criticism. That's why I've decided to assign you as her supervisor for this job. I'm counting on you to sort this out, Elder. You! A pleasure to meet you, sir. I'm sorry the Forge Master had to interrupt your work so that you might assist me with mine. I do hope you're not angry. I don't know if I could endure another dressing down. As pathetic as it sounds, that's actually the reason my delivery is late. I just can't bring myself to work. I'm sorry. I should start from the beginning. A short while ago, I received a visit from an armorer by the name of Blandsteer. I think we can pronounce that one. He is one of the old guard, a true veteran of the guild. After but a single glance at the armor I had made, he yelled that my work wasn't fit to cover a kobold's arse. Now I cannot banish the scene from my mind. His face twisted in anger, those scornful words. Am I truly so talentless? The shame, it paralyzes me. If he had explained the flaws in my work, I might endeavor to correct them. But I couldn't bring myself to speak to him, or to anyone else for that matter. Not until now. Might you speak with Blandsteer on my behalf? I would know the reason behind this reprimand. Oh. You. I'm Blandsteer. If you're looking for an armorer with skill and integrity, you've found him. What are you after then? You want to know what's amiss with her work? One of the guild's new faces, are ye? All these whelps training under Hananza got their heads filled with daft bloody notions of cooperation and camaraderie, when what they should be learning is how to use a pair of pliers. I've yet to meet one of her novices as could forge an ingot worth a damn, And them as ain't got the skill ain't worth me time, which means you, boy. Now bugger off. Not budging, eh? Stubborn sod. All right, then, tell you what. I'll give you one chance to prove yourself. Let's see you craft the same pieces as your friend made such a meal of. A decorated bronze barbet and a bronze buckler, it were. And if they're half decent, we'll have ourselves a nice little chat. Crafting. Bring me a decorated bronze thing and a weeping sack of Sahagin shite, you rude man. Floopsy makes good armors. Back at last, are ye? I was beginning to think you'd crawled off to Ulda to buy the damn things from a back-alleyed peddler. Any road, let's have a look, shall we? Bugger me. Are you sure ye made these yourself? Huh, seems at least one of Hananza's whelps knows the difference twixt a hammer and a sledge. Build or take me, you've got some talent, lad. This barbet well shows the character of your work, precise and uncompromising as it should be. You've realized that forging a helm ain't no matter of slapping a few molded sheets of bronze together. Nice. And your buckler's just as good. Small and light, but a damn sight sturdier than shields twice the size. Didn't expect to be saying this, but I'm impressed. With this level of quality and polish, you can make a tidy living for yourself as an artisan. But you're the exception as proves the rule, lad. Fact is, the other novices ain't fit to lick your boots. Her included. So you tell her this from me. If ye've the time to wallow in wounded tears, ye've the time to examine your own mistakes. There's no room in this world for craftsmen as can't criticize their own handiwork, so learn how to gauge your failings and correct. We spoke with the grumpy man. Or hang up my bloody hammer. Well, thank you for passing on Blandstier's advice. I believe I understand what he means to say, but not everyone has the inner fortitude to endure such criticism, be it from oneself or from others. If such strength is required to master the armorer's art, then mayhap I have mistaken my calling. I joined the guild with the dream of following in Hananza's footsteps, but I see now that was folly. I shall have to think long and hard about my aspirations. Please convey my apologies to the Forge Master for the delay. One day we're going to turn that Blandstier into a wholesome boy, just you wait. Our pure good intentions and good crafting will change his heart. Ah, so it was Blandstier that caused this mess. The old bastard always did take it upon himself to weed out the weaker initiates. We're not exactly on best of terms, he and I, even after all this time. I've known Blandstier since we were not but wide-eyed novices serving our apprenticeships under the same master. We always had our differences, but when our master retired they became that much more stark, and when we both put ourselves forward for the role of Forge Master, the resulting contest drove a permanent wedge between us. Blandstier's arguments are not entirely without merit, but neither is his approach the only way to train new armorers. For that damnable curmudgeon, though, it's his way or no way at all. The idea of nurturing aught else less than God's given talent is an anathema to him, and his ears wax deaf at the mere mention of it. But outfitting any army is the work of more than a talented few. It is the work of many hands acting in unison. I have turned a blind eye to Blandstier's behavior until now, but if he would threaten the unity of this guild, something must needs be done. I will think on it. Shoot. Ah, hells, not now, lad. Can't you see I'm struggling with a matter of great import? Being Forge Master ain't all drinking and debauchery, especially when Hananza's breathing down me neck. We're a business, she says, and it's our job to ensure Naldic and Vimeli stays profitable, or some such bollocks. To which I say, now look here, you greedy shrew, we're making a mint off our commissions from the maelstrom, ain't we? Well, I mayn't said shrew. Any road. The greedy shrew then starts yattering on about expanding into new bleeding markets. Says we should be selling more to the tree folk of Gridania. Says I should be the one to develop a plan of action. 7 hells, lad, I'm a smithy, not a merchant. I've never even been to bleeding Gridania. Oh, and it gets worse. See, we need a man with connections, don't we? Someone as can make arrangements with the tree folk. So Hanaja goes and finds one, right clever bastard by the sound of it, and orders me to go and meet him. So I goes and meets him, only to find it's none other than bleedin' Fajar. And I'd sooner bash me own teeth in than talk to that piece of... Wait a minute. I know how to deal with this. You can talk to him. You'll help old Brithale handle this Gridanian nonsense, won't ye? Course you will. Go on then. Chop chop. Hello. Here on Brithale's behalf, you say? I might have guessed. Spit. The whoreson doesn't realize the trouble he's in. Well, it's his neck. I'll work with you, Smith, and I'll even keep my diction simple. Taking instruction from that drunkard will have dulled your wits. Now listen. Dealing with Gridanians is no different from dealing with anyone else. Everyone has needs, it's just a matter of identifying and fulfilling them. Anyone with half a brain, which discounts your mentor, ouch, knows that the forest-born do not want for wood or leather goods. You'd have more luck selling brine to a fishback. What they do lack is steel. Theirs is an insular, isolated nation that has long sought to survive without relying overmuch on foreign trade. But the calamity changed all that. Half a decade on, and with no end to the rebuilding in sight, they have been forced to open their gates to adventurers. And where there are adventurers, there's demand for weapons and armor. Quality weapons and armor, mind you. My Gridanian contacts would accept nothing less. I will need some samples to show them. Bring me a bronze spatha and a spiked bronze labrys for this purpose. Floopsy make good things. These will require closer inspection. Inside, Smith. You made these weapons. I must confess the quality is quite good. I thought you know more than Brithale's errand boy, but it seems I was wrong. Only a true smith could have made these pieces. As I rather suspect you are aware, a poorly wrought weapon can cost a man his life. Be it brittle, prone to blunting, or unevenly weighted, every flaw will serve to hinder its owner on the battlefield. Not so this spatha. Well-tempered and perfectly balanced. It is a weapon fit for a warrior. Hells, with a blade like this, even I could probably best a beast or two. And this labrys is a work of art as well. Simple, solid, and more than capable of cleaving a fishback in two. If even a relative newcomer to the guild can produce work of this quality, then my contacts will have naught to worry about. These samples should convince them of that. It seems you've saved your mentor's job. You just leave the rest to me, Smith. There's nothing easier than selling an excellent product. Boots. Wonderful. We've made ourselves a nice new helmet and a pretty new sword. Elder Floopsy must always dress his best.